up, it's Talking Rasslin time. Pondwater and Amy, partners in crime. Dropping facts with laughs and trivia too. Pro wrestling tales coming straight to you. Stories wild and questions quick. Amy and Dave with the perfect kick. Tune in every week, don't miss the ride. Wrestling knowledge served with pride. Talking Rasslin, it's a wild ride. Dave and Amy kicking ass on the wild side. Grab a chair and join the spree. It's all about the wrestling fantasy. They rant, they rave, they won't behave. Wrestling fans, come out your cave. It's time to party and misbehave. Talking wrestling, time to go. Ring the bell and start the show. They rant, they rave, they won't behave. Wrestling fans, come out your cave. It's time to party and misbehave. Talking wrestling, time to go. Ring the bell and start the show.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Rasslin with Pondwater Dave and Amy. We are super excited to have you. I'm saying we like I got a mouse in my pocket. Amy will be along shortly. She's coming in hot today, but I didn't want to keep you waiting. Proud to have y'all all with us. There she is.
Made it.
You said you were going to be a minute late. I think that you missed it by about 40 seconds.
Oh,
You done good,
Like-
though. I'm proud of you.
I tried. I had to. Coming in hot. Coming in hot.
It's just Ben Jones and T-Weave, so we're good.
Okay.
Ben Jones, all the way from Australia, thank you for joining us. T-Weave, always good to see you too, sir.
I know. Hello.
Appreciate y'all riding with us tonight. I'm really looking forward to having a great show.
Woo. It is going to be a good show. Caleb Konley. That's
Joining
awesome.
us a little later will be Caleb Konley, former Impact star. I learned a lot about him in research that I didn't know, and can't wait to get him in here and talk to him about what all was going on with him. Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Of course, he's the BIW Southern Champion.
Yep. Willie Buck's here.
I got to tell you,
Tell me.
everything's wrestling. You know how everybody says that everything's wrestling?
Yeah.
Sunday morning, I picked my granddaughter up. We take our 3-year-old granddaughter to church with us.
Okay.
We're taking her to church with us, and then we're going to go get her little brother on the way back because he's an infant, and we're going to spend the day with grandkids. But
Oh, fun.
so we're in the car, and Aubrey wants to play hide and seek.
Okay.
I'm driving.
Yes.
Tip strapped in, shotgun. Aubrey's in her car seat. So Aubrey will hold her coat. So, all right, y'all count to 20.
Mm-hmm.
And she puts her jacket up over her head.
Oh, I love it already.
And we got to do the we're ready or not. Here we come. Papa, where's Aubrey? I don't see her. I didn't see her get out. So we're pretending that she's under we don't know that she's under the coat.
Right.
And then she's like, check under my coat.
I love it.
But then it's Tippy's turn to hide, and Aubrey's going to count. And then Tippy's hiding under Aubrey's coat. And then it's my turn. But what I'm saying is that the kid's 3 years old, and we're working a game of hide and seek.
Yes, I understand. I love it. Look under my coat.
So I mean,
So
it was just,
cute.
but everything's wrestling, and I loved it. It was,
Yes.
The kid brings me so much joy. She does.
Oh, I bet. How could they not at that age, right? Just so sweet.
Hey, Coach Keith, Willie Buck, thanks for joining us. Anything good happen with you this week?
Gosh, we had a really good. I helped put on a church retreat this weekend. It was really good. it was kind of crazy you do that and the time change. So, I mean, I caught little bits of the AEW revolution because I was just so exhausted from all of that. But um, yes, like I said, that was really good. I really enjoyed that and love it. I don't know about you, but we've had sunny days the last few days, and it has been talk about rejuvenating your soul.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's nice. I got home from work
Yes,
today and it was actually hot. And
really.
I've got a tree that blooms this time of year, and I've been
Uh-huh.
taking pictures of it for the last 5 days from the same
Uh-huh.
angle because I'm
Oh,
going to do
yeah.
how many days it takes for it to fully bloom
Yes.
because I got that kind of time while I'm waiting on the dogs to do what they're going to do. But I've been sitting on the patio and it's beautiful and it's been so cold in the mornings though.
Mhm.
It's been a little too cold for me to start the day in shorts.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I'm just 10 degrees away, 10 degrees in the morning away from wearing shorts to work.
Cannot wait for that to be
Them old
our
white legs are going to
everyday.
be on full display in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
But I just can't wait for that to be our norm,
Oh, I
like
thought you would say you
nice.
can't wait to see my pasty white legs.
No, I have some of my own, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't tan, so,
Yeah,
it's
pasty
just one
white
of
and out of
those
sight.
things. Exactly. Exactly. But
Man,
I'm super excited about the nice weather. It just makes everything easier to deal with, when the
yeah.
sun is shining.
I don't really get all that upset about the time change. I hate losing an hour,
Yeah.
but we didn't have to. But I mean, I honestly, I'm going to wake up. That hour didn't help me any.
Right. Exactly.
In that
I
hour, I woke
think
up at the same time. So, and I mean, it wasn't like I had to get up at 4 o'clock for work.
right, right. I think the only thing is with the time change, if you've I don't know if you've ever been on a retreat, but they're long days and when you don't get home till like a little after 10 and you got to do a few things, then the next thing you know it's like 11:30, 12. You got to get up really early because you got to get there before everybody else. This old lady, that's hard on her. So I so when
Well,
I got home Sunday, I was just like, I'm just gonna, cozy up.
yeah, I don't think it's going away. They talk about it, but the president said something about it the other day that made perfect sense. They asked him about doing away with daylight savings time, and he said, it's really a 50-50 issue. Half the people want it to be an hour later, half the people want it to be an hour earlier. People with
Oh,
kids don't want to take their kids to school in the dark. He
right.
goes, he goes, and on 50-50 issues, it's just really not, I'm paraphrasing, not really a priority to push 50-50 issues.
Sure. I can understand that.
And I mean, it just kind of turned a light on for me like, well, that kind of makes sense. And I can
Well,
see that because I want it to be dark. I don't want it to get dark so early,
mhm,
but I can also see it as the parent wouldn't want to take their kids to school in the dark. So,
right. Well, and if you really feel passionate about it, you can just start with your city and local government because, there are places. I mean, I think Arizona, or maybe
yeah,
it's just Phoenix. I mean, there are places
there's places
that
that,
do not observe, Indianapolis, or, different places. So, I mean, it could be done. It just may not be done on a national level. But if you really disliked it or wanted it a certain way, you could start with your congressman or whatever and kind of start local. See if you can get it changed there.
yeah, I like it getting dark later
Yo, me too.
because I mean, I go out and I walk around the pond and it's just, I like it that way.
Yes. Yes. 100% agree. But
And
other than that, I'm going to go see, hopefully this weekend, I'm going to go see Queen of the Ring.
yeah, I'm gonna go see it too. I've heard mixed reviews.
From who?
I don't want to talk about the people that didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's not, so it's a personal, it's not like something, a blog or something.
No. I mean, I've gotten reviews. I mean, Willie Thornbrew saw it and he told me he's going to go see it again. He loved it. He absolutely
Oh,
loved it.
good.
There were several people that told me during the pay-per-view that they really enjoyed it. But then I
The
had a couple people that told me that it was straight up ass. So I, I'm gonna
did
I'm gonna
did
go
they
see it because I want to
yeah.
support an independent wrestling film.
did they say the people who didn't like it? I mean, did they say what they didn't like? I mean, they thought it was corny or they thought it was like not good acting. Like, I mean, what does it was asked, what does that mean?
I'll ask.
I'm just curious, like if
I
they
mean,
thought it was just hokey or I don't know. Obviously, I have not seen it yet.
no, I mean, it's
Um,
just dudes talking. He goes, man, I saw it. I thought it was ass.
mm.
I didn't feel the need for a follow-up question.
Yeah, well, I do. You know me, I like to ask the questions. So
I
I'm
know
just
that's why
curious.
that's why you're here, Amy.
That's right.
One
I
of us
know.
has to ask good questions, and it's obviously not me. Hey, I don't know for sure. I'm looking.
Okay.
I thought we might be simulcasting on TikTok tonight.
Ooh, are we?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Justin yet said that it doesn't look like it. So
Wonder why. We'll figure it out.
I don't know. It says that I have a live event scheduled March 11th at 6 p.m. So I had it all scheduled, but I didn't have to link anything. And I mean, I didn't tell it the time. So I figured it picked up on it.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't either. We'll look into that. I don't have TikTok anymore. I deleted it when they told me to. So
It's changed. It's not what it was before the quote unquote ban.
right. I didn't really get a whole lot on it anyway. I mean, I would watch things off Facebook and people, you all would send me stuff, but I mean, I know a lot of people that are on it and they buy stuff and, they have a TikTok shops and different things like that.
I watch, I'm heavy into the Queen and her men, all the Queen's men.
I have no, what's that? Is that a show?
It's a show about a woman that owns a strip club in Atlanta.
Is this on TV or is it a TikTok show?
I don't know where it is, and I need to quit watching it on TikTok. I need to quit watching it a minute at a time on TikTok, and just go watch the damn thing because I really like it. It's a gangster show.
Interesting.
I like it a lot. The Queen and her men is about Efren. I gotta quit watching Darren Staley while we're broadcasting. He kills me, man. Come for me and Amy, but stay for Darren Staley in the chat. When you're not watching us on the chat and following along in the chat, man, I'm saying, but it's a really good show. From what I can tell, I don't know.
Is it like a year?
It's a great show.
Right. What year? I mean, like what decade is it set? Like current, or is it like like in?
It's pretty current.
Is it current?
Coach
It's
Keith
on
said
BET.
it's on BET. I don't know how I didn't catch that.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I just know the main character's name is Madam.
I
don't know if I love her. She looks like somebody I could love.
Oh, okay.
She is freaking evil, though. I mean, like, she's just she's character
is a businesswoman. Is she she's the owner of the club?
Yeah. She's the owner of the club, and her dad is a gangster named Cadillac.
Oh.
And it's a whole thing. And then there's characters that it's all organized crime and money laundering.
Right.
So, of course, the police and the feds are trying to get her. And there's a judge that comes in there. And, of course, they act a fool in the strip club because it's men dancers.
Oh, even
I mean,
better.
we don't never see it. So.
Oh, okay. Look at Terry. He was like, "Where's Atlanta?" He's like, "I'm going to Atlanta. Where is this?"
But it's heavy into my feed, and I really like it.
Interesting. Okay. What's on BET? Coach said. So
I'm gonna have to go and I want to watch the series now.
Yeah.
But it's. But that's what I get on TikTok. That I watch. There's a chick named Heather that does Walmart skits. There's in fact,
wait. What's a Walmart skit? What is that?
She's like she works at Walmart, and then she's got all these characters. Like she'll put assistant manager in clown face. Then
Okay.
general manager Scotty's got like big fat face with little nose and eyes and mouth. She uses different filters for all the different characters, and she does a great job acting them out.
She's actually a Walmart employee?
Not anymore,
Oh,
but she bases it on her time at Walmart, and but it's like a soap opera. So I like following her
okay.
content.
Okay.
I mean, you got people that do that stuff regularly.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Oh, I
and
didn't know. That's why I wanted. That's like a. Oh, that's like a
that's a fine.
what? My sister was calling me. I'm sorry. I was got me. But anyway,
Amy's been busted.
I've been flabbergasted. No, my sister was calling me. I was just see what she needs. What was I saying? I don't remember. That's like those speaking of Revolution just a tad, but like that's like Big AJ and Rizzler, like they all are on TikTok, right?
Yeah, they did theirs, and fortunately they've been in my For You page. But,
really?
But they're not as they were on it real heavy before the ban. They're not now, and I'm not going out of my way to find it.
Well, I mean, they're busy they're on AEW.
Oh, I know. I saw it the other night. And we can talk about it.
Yeah.
AEW, they're really pissing me off because when I have to come up with and I'm hosting a watch party, I've got to give the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to your website and it says it starts at 4 p.m. Pacific, and I do the math, I believe that means it's 6 p.m. Central.
Yes.
7 p.m. Eastern.
I would think so.
So when I log in at 6 p.m. Central, I don't want to see that the 0 hour is going another hour.
Oh.
So we started this thing at 6, and five hours later, it ends. Allison Faye was with us till midnight. I couldn't believe it.
I did. There seemed to be a lot of pre-matches, like a pre-show. Like that seemed like a very long.
There's lots of matches.
Yeah.
The match with Big Boom AJ.
Yeah. Was that a pre-show or was that?
It was pre-show.
Okay.
They did a spot where Big Justice got in the ring and grabbed whoever they were wrestling. Mm-hmm. He was up on the top rope, had AJ in the corner.
Yeah.
So Big Justice grabs him and pulls him off like a suplex.
Yes.
While the referee was turned around. But then he's posing and doing his whole thing and just milking it. And I'm thinking, get your little ass out of the ring. You done your thing. Now, I mean, you're just sitting there because, man, I mean, you got dirt all over the back of this referee's neck. You're burying him so bad now. Do your little shit and get out the ring.
It was
because I mean, his dad trained to wrestle.
Yeah,
I got no problem. And they bring more eyes. They're doing more for AEW than AEW does for them.
That's crazy.
But AEW needs to get their celebrities in check. They're obviously very popular with celebrities. Of course, they're plugging the Queen of the Ring. But there was an interview segment where they were talking to a couple of the ladies, and
they were dipshits.
and Camille came out and defended them.
Yeah.
They didn't really mean it. I don't care if they meant it or not.
Were they drunk? Like, what the world?
I don't know,
why would you even say that?
But what I'm saying is if you're going to go to the celebrities,
yes.
WWE would have never gave a celebrity a live mic without knowing what they were going to talk about. I'm sure it would have.
Notice they don't give them a live mic. They show their picture and they let them dance and do all their stuff.
I mean, I understand they're pushing the movie and good for them, but you can't have, I mean, don't say if I didn't, I learned that in wrestling, everybody knows if they're going to win or not.
I know. Oh my God. Could you imagine?
But I mean, I was digging the vibe. Leslie Jones was into it. She was there. Ron Funches was sitting next to her.
Yeah.
And Leslie Jones was into it during the Herb's match.
I really like her. And she's almost like that Tiffany Haddish. Like, you can believe that she watched that growing up. You know, like I think there are some people that are there and you're like, Nicole Kidman, you did not watch wrestling growing up.
I think that's why the Buttercream Dream character that Corey does got over so much with Leslie Jones. I don't know if you know that Corey, our friend Corey, been on the show.
Yeah, he opened for her. Yeah, he opened for
Corey
her.
opens for her, and she's very
Yeah.
good to Corey. But the Buttercream Dream, like when she hosted MTV's movie, music, whatever fucking award show they did, freaking award show they did, she wanted Corey there. And Corey was on there, with his, with his belt and doing the Buttercream Dream. So her being a wrestling fan, 100% is why Corey got over with her. Not because, I mean, Corey deserved it because, his Buttercream Dream stuff is brilliant.
But again, she got it. Just like I said, I believe
she was having a good time. And we know Ron Funches is a wrestling fan. But there was lots, and Paul Walter Hauser, which I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do something with QT Marshall, because they tease something. They tease something on the panel.
Isn't he with MLW? I think he's with MLW.
Well, yeah, but he was on the pre-show for AEW. Hey, MLW won a $20 million lawsuit against the WWE for a monopoly. They're not going to keep Paul Walterhausen from being on. I think he's been on Ring of Honor some, though.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ken Jeong is a big celebrity wrestling fan. He did some stuff backstage with Thunder Rosa, and then of course Coach Rosie posted a picture of Ken Jeong and Coach's son.
He's really into, or he's a real big proponent to the Culture City. Isn't that what it's called? And does a lot with
Culture City or Cloud City?
I think it's Culture.
Culture City.
I think it's Culture City.
But yeah, he's on the board of that.
So I think that, which is wonderful. I mean, I love that he was there. And heck yeah, if I was a celebrity, I'd be at the show. And it was in Los Angeles, so it makes sense.
Okay. But yeah, the stars came out.
City, good. Yes,
thank you,
that's
Ben.
what I thought. But
the stars came out and supported it, and I loved it. And let me tell you something. AEW does pay-per-view right.
What do you mean?
I mean, if you're a wrestling fan and you're in for the long haul on wrestling, I mean, they do something different, and that's not bad. It's not a bad thing to be different than WWE. WWE is doing shorter cards, longer matches.
Right. Now hold on. So let me ask you this. It might be a little early, but I want to ask you, what jar rating did you give this pay-per-view?
3.5.
3.5?
3.5.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
We started out with Hangman and Hangman and
MJF.
I wrote MVP.
He was there, but later.
Props to MJF. He got his spray tan under control for this. This was a good match. I thought it was a really good match. Hangman won. And I think Hangman needed to win. And I liked it. I can't pick anything about this match apart. I really liked it.
I do like, I like this character of Hangman. I think he was really, I don't know about the whole drunk thing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, how he was doing that, whatever Hangman was doing in the beginning. And so, I'm glad he's doing this now. I think I did like it. I liked it better, definitely.
But yeah, I thought it was a good match. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. No,
it was a good opening match. I had a friend that me and a couple of friends text, and he crapped on MJF being an overpaid curtain jerker. And I'm like, dude, what? Oh, now he's doing jobs and curtain jerking and doing jobs. No, he advanced Hangman Adam Page. There was nothing wrong with this match being first. MJF does a lot of the opening matches, but curtain jerking's not what it used to be. Not since the Nitro era. We knew that the first match out of the gate was going to be good.
I do think it was. I think Hangman needed this win. Like, I don't know what I feel like he's been flailing, like, I don't know. Like I said, when he was like the drunk character and then the Young Bucks were in there involved. And, I don't know. He was just in a weird place. I think he's more like when he was in Japan and like more of the.
I mean, they're heating him up again. And
yes.
Coach Rosie. Yeah, whenever I saw Ken Jeong, I said, incoming picture from Coach, because I know that y'all are friends with Ken Jeong and your son does great work with Culture City. And congratulations to Coach Rosie. His basketball team won state championship.
Yay!
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
That's fabulous.
Then the second match, Mercedes Moné defends the TBS title against Momo. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. It's spelled wannabe, but it might be Wantabi or something. I don't know.
Well,
She's from Stardom. She's from Stardom, but I know her name is Momo. But this was a good match.
I think she does well with the Japanese women wrestlers.
She didn't when she was in Japan.
Well, I don't know about all that. But I mean, the ones that she's wrestled here, like, I don't know if it's just she really does seem to do well with the Japanese wrestlers.
Hey, nobody, if y'all been listening to this show for the last 2 years, I don't normally give Mercedes Moné compliments other than she was good in the WWE system.
Right.
This is, I think this is 2 in a row now.
Yeah. And it's against Japanese wrestlers.
I loved it. I thought it was a great match. I thought she did a really good job. I thought it was, I believed that she was going to lose. Then she was in control. It was some really, really good wrestling. I mean, hats off to Mercedes Moné. She's out here doing it now.
I agree. I thought this was a good match for her.
Get this. He's in the chat trying to teach me phonics. Watababi?
Watanabe.
Watababi?
Why do you say Bobby? Oh, look at the second one. Oh. Yeah. I was like, why do you keep saying Bobby?
Hey, if you're going to correct me, at least spell it right, Coach. Damn.
And I'm pretty sure, Coach, do you teach reading? I really think he's a reading teacher.
I don't know what he does. He's a teacher that ain't never at school.
I think he's a reading teacher. So I think that's hilarious.
He's an effing genius is what he is.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
He's using all his PTO time up, I guess.
I don't know. Make him go up there and just sit in the classroom during the summer. I don't know what he does. Then we had Swerve and Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
I got to admit that I liked Ricochet coming out wearing the robe.
Oh, yeah. Heel move. Definitely.
I think Swerve was, y'all know I love Swerve. I mean, right above my monitor up here on this shelf, I've got an autographed picture of Swerve with the AEW belt. I don't have a lot of current stuff in my man cave. I really like Swerve Strickland.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was a really good match. I thought that Ricochet was going to win. I honestly thought Ricochet was going to win. I thought that Nana was going to turn on Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Swerve shoved Nana.
Yeah.
And Nana shot him finger and left.
Yeah, I was going to say he left.
He got in his feelings. I thought when he came back, he was coming back with the robe and everything. I was wanting it. I was wanting Nana to turn on Swerve.
Really?
Because I think Nana as a heel with Ricochet would be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I got excited that might have been what was going to happen. But when Swerve won and he's number one contender, I'm good with that too.
All right.
And I gave it match an A. The first 3 matches I gave an A. So you'll see how we're going to get to 3 in a mouthful on the jar rating. We're going to get there.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, we're right out of the gate with, I 4.5, 5 jars matches.
The only thing that I was kind of like, that does end up going on throughout the night is there were so many false finishes. There were so many moves hit that it's like they need to stay down. Like when you combine 2 or 3 moves, it's like that's a little much that they kick out at 2 after they've taken 8 different, pile drivers that you've come up with. Like I think
there's moves that you shouldn't kick out of.
I mean, they're putting things to, whatever. It's like a flying tombstone or, different things. And it's like, it's just, to me, that's where I was like, okay, I feel like this is losing a little, like, not all the matches, but, swerving, I mean, and then as we go on and on and on, it was just like, seriously.
And AEW is not the only guilty party here, but we're going to get, but
I'm just saying with this pay-per-view, 4 pre-match shows and 6 blood everywhere. I just was kind of like,
And Terry Weaver makes a point. If we continue to get worse, because they always want to do just a little bit more each time.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's back to my Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck cartoon scenario where Daffy finally drinks the nitroglycerin and everything at the end and blows up. And he's floating up as a ghost. And what's he going to do for an encore?
Right.
Then we go to Okada and Brody. I love Okada. I love Brody. There's nothing in this match that it was a match.
I liked that they put them together.
It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a great match. It just was a match. And I don't know how, because I still believe Okada's probably one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Right.
And this match didn't hit real hard for me. I didn't hate it, but
they are very different.
It was the level of match that the first 3 were.
Right. Right. But I don't think we were at the level of animosity. You know what I mean? Like the heat or whatever. I mean, I'll let y'all in on a little secret, whatever, but Brody King, I like watching him wrestle.
He's really good.
Well, that's not why I like watching him.
Oh.
I mean, bigger guy, complete tattoos and a beard. Oh Lord. I really am starting to be like, I think I could dig that. So anywho.
I got a tap, and that's not what I expected. Turn it. Oh man. Then we got the Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners. The Hurt Syndicate is so good. Man, those guys are so physically impressive.
But you know what? I did not like this match. And let me tell you why. I do not deal with the Outrunners. They are a joke team and all the stuff they're doing. I don't think the Hurt Syndicate should have been anywhere. They should have squashed them. They should have moved on because they were so physically impressive and dominant. Like, I don't know.
I never thought that there was a chance that they were going to win that match.
No, but all that just.
But I get the joke. I get the joke. I like the Outrunners presentation. I like it when they're doing their shit.
But not with the champions, not with the Hurt Syndicate. I did not like it.
I mean, I get you, Amy, but they're so hot that you had to put them in that spot.
Well, true.
Because we'd all be bitching that. What do you got to do? You're as over as Rover, and you can't get in a decent spot.
Right.
And so if you're going to beat them, you might as well beat them by the best team that you have.
Well, yeah, I know.
So, but I get what you're saying. That's because at first they didn't get over with me. I just thought that's funny. But I mean, even when they're coming to the ring, the tracking on a VCR, the screen does like you're having to adjust the tracking.
And again, I'm okay with that if it was with a different team. I just think the Hurt Syndicate, I do understand your point. They're on fire.
You're not wrong. But in this case, you didn't hurt them by having the World Tag Team Champions beat them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
but I would have graded it a C. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. Next up, we had Toni Storm and Mariah May in what should have been the main event. This match was brutal, absolutely brutal. Both ladies were bleeding like stuck pig. I mean, at one point, I saw they did a close up of Toni, and the way the blood was shooting out of her head had me concerned. That how fast it was coming out of her head. I've heard people say that nobody wants to see the women bleed. I've got a horrible joke that I was going to make, but I'm not.
I can kind of.
But
God.
see, she's laughing, and I didn't tell it. I should have told it.
I'm just sitting there thinking,
I popped her with it, and she didn't. I didn't even have to tell it.
I'm not laughing. I'm shaking my head. Like,
anyway,
Lord,
this was the match of the night. This was a match that needed to be the main event for everything they did. I mean, they put taped on her hands and stuck it in a glass. And
I like that it's both of them. You know, like Mariah May, she's a beautiful woman, but she is just as tough.
That's because you're classy. That's because you're classy, Ever.
I mean, you know, I like it. I mean, and again, you're right. This was a really, because of everything they've been doing, it would have been weird if it didn't have blood. I mean, they beat the crap out of you. You know, that's what started the whole thing with the shoe. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the shoe was there. She's stabbing her with the shoe.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Jarrett might want to work with her a little bit on showing how to stab somebody with a shoe properly. But
there's a proper
but
way.
This was the match of the night. 5 jars. It don't get any better. I absolutely loved that match. I absolutely love both of these performers. And Toni Storm is the MVP of AEW at the moment.
Where does Mariah May go from here, though? I mean, where do you go? Where for her? Obviously, Toni Storm's the belt or champion, so people will be coming after her for the belt. But what does Mariah May do now?
Maybe she goes after Mercedes. I don't know.
But they're both heels. I mean, why would she go? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe she goes away for a few weeks. It is AEW. Maybe they'll roll somebody else up. Takeshita and Omega for the international title.
One thing I didn't like, just because it just makes me nervous, when you had the table flipped on the other side and the legs were sticking. Like I did not like that at all. I mean, it just made me nervous, just in general. I mean, just like, oh God.
I mean, they're telling a story about his diverticulitis. Turned the table on the side and dropped him on it.
Yeah. Kept him out forever, though, so yeah.
They did a lot.
Yeah.
They did a lot. And Omega won.
I'm cool with that.
I guess.
I mean,
I liked the match. I thought it was a very good match. It was a lot, though.
Well,
it was a lot of that video game. It was a lot of that video game action match.
Right. We're starting to get into a lot at this, like you said, I mean, Mariah May's.
It was just, you know what I'm saying? At this point, it's a lot that I'm getting tired.
Yeah. Yes. I totally understand.
We're doing a lot. And then we bring out a steel cage for Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. I don't like that we have a cage, but somebody gets in the cage to interfere. I don't like that. We're putting them in a cage for a reason.
Right.
We're getting guy that I haven't even bothered to learn his name yet. Interferes in the match.
And they said he was bleeding.
Then we got a screwdriver.
Yeah,
we got a screwdriver up on top of the cage. Because the screwdriver's got to make an appearance. Then we're kicking out of everything.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
And
you
then,
know,
and
pushing
then,
things
and y'all
together.
stay with me on this because I'm more than an old man barking at clouds on this. Then, for one, I don't like these new cages. I understand you got to have a cage that you can lower from the ceiling. It ain't the old days
Oh,
where they had everybody bring 4 pieces out and they zip tie all of them together around the ring, and you had to wait for them to get the cage built and torn down. This
right.
works, and you've got a structure that's safe to hang over it. But
Mm-hmm.
I want a fence match. I don't like these contraption cages with places to stand on the top of them.
Yes. For
But
acrobats. Yeah.
it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got 2 guys that are standing up on top of the cage, clearly getting their footing, holding on to each other,
To
okay,
do a move. Yeah.
okay, bruv, we're gonna go on 3. I mean, get out of here with that Cirque du Soleil bullshit.
Right. So you would
Because
rather them have a
no, I
lid.
would have rather him said, "Hey, pump," and knocked him off the damn cage.
Right.
Just knock him off the cage.
No,
But
but
no,
I'm
y'all
saying,
are balancing each other. You're getting ready for your cutesy little spot. That killed it for me. I'm
right.
done at that point. It took me out of the match.
Mm-hmm.
That part took me out of the match. I'm not saying everybody else didn't enjoy it. I'm telling you, this is where it's all going downhill for me.
Right.
Because I'm thinking if I'm trying to win this and we're up there like this, all I got to do is give you a little bump and let your ass fall into the cage. And that'd be a hell of a spot for a cage match because everybody thinks that you're up there. Y'all are fixing to do some cute little Ferber Snavitz bullshit, twisty toodle, cockatoo
You want it to be
bullshit.
like Mankind and Hell in a Cell, like where it just
But
accidentally
get up
comes.
there, when you get up there before they ever do it, just let him push him off and let the guy do a front bump into the cage.
Why are we on
Let do a
top?
bump to the floor if you want, because I mean those guys don't care if they're hurt for 8 months and they're not
No.
going to live past 42.
Do you like to a top on the cage? Is that what you're saying? Like you would like war games. You know how it has
No,
a
I don't need a top
top.
on the cage.
Oh,
I just want an old chain link fence.
you just don't want them on it with a
Back in the
platform and
day,
everything else. I got you.
with
That
Carrie,
makes that makes sense.
with Carrie and Flair in a cage, and and Gordy slamming the door on their head.
I mean, that was the shot heard around the world. Terry Gordy
So,
did that.
but I mean, they're in a cage and it's a fight, and the cage was enough. The
Right,
cage is enough weapon. We don't need everything else.
right. What
And
was the point of the cage if you're going to go
I
get
think they even
bad and
had
everything else?
thumbtacks in there. I think that thumbtacks that didn't nobody land in.
Yeah, I think
Oh
I
yeah,
do.
way too many
Yes,
false finishes. And then
several of the matches, Coach.
so Osprey wins.
Hmm.
Okay. Next we got Moxley and Cope.
And aren't you exhausted at this point? Like
What in the
seriously,
world are we
like
doing with our lives when Moxley and Cope is the rest of the match on the card?
I do understand it's for the title. It's for the title, so it's
Yeah.
like okay, but like you said, we have. I mean, I don't think their match was. I mean, it was. It was out of those last 3, it was the least entertaining. And you know what I mean? Like of the last 3. And like you said,
And I just can see the booking meeting. Like, how many times has Wheeler Yuta interfered in a Moxley match? And then they all get they're calculating and syncing up satellites to NASA.
oh,
87 this year, Tony. Okay, we're gonna have Yuta go in and interfere in the match.
I don't like odd numbers. Let's do 88. No.
So I mean, here's Yuta back interfering in the match, and maybe they're doing it because you don't know which way Yuta's going to go on it.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they
Of the,
teased
of
with
the
the
last
handshake.
week. Yeah.
But so I guess it makes sense for him, but we didn't need it. But
There's a lot of
then,
stuff we didn't
but
need in
then
these shows.
the saving grace of this piece of crap match, Christian shows up with the briefcase. I mean, with the contract.
Right.
Now he shows up in a black hoodie.
Right.
F all the way off with your black hoodies. Let's stop it. I miss the old days when they turned the lights out. You've made me miss that bullshit with everybody showing up at ringside with a black hoodie. Big
Right.
reveal. Just run your ass out there, hit him with it. I mean,
Right. But I mean,
I
He
was so
didn't.
disappointed that Christian did not win championship.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why would you have him cash it
Man,
in?
Wednesday night, he has to say that he didn't sign his name. That he
Yeah,
didn't sign the contract.
that would be
Because
good.
we've been waiting all that. I'm just like, but Lord, it was just, and I was ready for it to be over with because I wanted to go to bed at that point.
Yeah, that's what. And honestly, whenever I was, like I said, watching it was like I didn't even. I guess I thought Osprey and Fletcher. Like it was just like, oh my God, there's another match. Like it just wasn't. I wasn't there to see that match, I guess, like it wasn't like, oh, Moxley and Adam or Edge or whatever, or not Adam, whatever, Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
It just wasn't, and then again, I mean, you already had like a bloodbath with the women. You had Will Ospreay and Fletcher. I mean, that was wild.
And hey, they kept it in the ring for the most part.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, that's just kind of an odd. I don't know.
But just the interference but they had the chance to save it, and then it just wasn't. And Moxley retains, and I was just at that point, and that's why it's a 3.5 jar pay-per-view for me, because it was just too much.
Right.
It was like,
yes, it was too much. Too much. There was, I mean, seriously, there was there's 4 matches, but there was like 8-man and 6-man. I mean, and I was sitting there trying to think, a Revolution is not any, I mean, I don't know what their WrestleMania match is, or, pay-per-view, but it's like, it wasn't as a I mean, it wasn't
they do pay-per-view right.
Well, no, but I'm saying this one, for as long as it was, like, we've had some shorter one. I don't know. I just felt like this one was long.
I mean, it was a legit 4-hour pay-per-view that I watched for over 5 hours. So, yeah. But it was a legit 4-hour pay-per-view with 9 matches. It just started doing too much, and more.
100% too much.
And after that Mariah Tony Storm match, it was hard to. I mean, you're trying to follow something that you didn't have no business going before.
Right. No, 100%.
So my problem's not so much with the talent per se as it is the booking.
And the order, maybe the order.
Yeah, the match order is horrible. I mean, you should
change it around.
Those ladies should have closed the show with that.
And it was for the women's title, so it's not like, so yeah. I mean, definitely should have been before Fletcher and Ospreay, who were not battling for anything, were they?
Now, while we're talking about cage matches, let's talk about the showing that the WWE did last night from Madison Square Garden.
Yes. Okay, I'll do that. I'll watch most of it.
Way too many false finishes. Way too many false finishes. I mean, way too many. Like a go to sleep and a curb stomp. That's 2 fingers to your finishes. I mean, they're doing each other's finishes. Obviously not very good because they're kicking out.
Anaconda Vice turned into a FU. I mean, like you said, it's just all over the place.
But when they climbed up to the top of the cage, they're trying to keep from falling off the cage. They're not locked up on top of the cage. One of them's holding onto a chain. One of them's holding on. I mean, Seth's on his back trying not to fall. You know what I'm saying? But then the move off the top of the cage was Seth had fell and caught himself, got on the top rope, grabbed Punk and brought him into a suplex off the cage. Didn't look like they cooperated with each other. Right. That was brilliant. But then they started doing all that falsy crap. And then I like the finish y'all should have watched it. Spoiler alert. When Roman grabs Seth and jerks, they're telling a story that neither man wants to walk out of the cage. They want to finish it in the cage. Uh-huh. And for Roman to grab Seth and yank him out of the cage, making him the winner. And
can I say this? He jerked him out like he was a child. Like he was just jerked him out like he was nothing.
And then beat his ass at ringside. And Roman was 100% babyface in that. Mm-hmm. I was popping for Roman doing it because I don't like Seth Rollins or CM Punk. Mm-hmm. And then he went in the ring and got Punk because Heyman, Wise Man, was in there.
That was great.
Interesting.
watching his
But
face.
I think we've
Watching,
set up a triple threat match for WrestleMania.
I think, yes. I also don't you think Rhea Ripley and Bianca and Io Sky? I feel like that's going to be a triple threat too.
Yeah, unless Rhea can't wrestle.
Why? Do you think she can?
I said when she lost the
smacked
belt,
her, so I mean, I feel like she could do physicality. I mean, it's not like her face or something. That's
well, if she don't wrestle, if she doesn't wrestle WrestleMania, I think she's pregnant. And I said that when she lost the belt.
Well, yeah, could be, I guess.
I don't know.
I just kind of thought that might. I like Io Sky, and it was kind of. I did like it in a way of like, okay, those two girls are like, yeah, he was Josh about ready got us kicked off with his F-bomb early in the match.
Hey, rated R is mild for me, Josh.
I did like how they're going back and forth. Rhea and Bianca are going back and forth, and Io Sky's like, "Hello, I am the champion. Like you act like I'm nothing." So that's the only reason why I thought. And then the second smack to Bianca was a little, I don't know, like it took a long time, but I mean, I could see that being a triple threat if she can wrestle. I guess I didn't really think about that. I think it could happen.
Yeah, I like Io Sky, but I mean, I'm looking at her holding the belt, thinking, why? Why are we doing this?
Well, she's a good wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
Josh Newell says, I've been in the locker room with you. I know I pray for Stephanie often.
Definitely. But I did like, let's see, what else? Now, Raquel Rodriguez, what is she? The number one contender for both? What title? Io's title? Is that right? She won,
yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Are you surprised she beat Bayley clean like that?
I'm surprised she beats anybody.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, where do you think this is going? I mean, she's already a tag champion. Why would you let her? You know what I'm saying?
I don't get it. I mean, it's not for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it for number one contender for the Intercontinental title, or was it for the world title? I was exhausted last night. I didn't watch Raw. I fast forward. I watched.
I don't remember.
I watched the cage.
Say that.
I saw part of that, but I watched the cage match.
Does anybody know in the chat what belt? But again, she's already a tag champion. Why is she going for another belt? Like why would we gonna put them all on these two women? Nobody else in the whatever they're called.
Mercedes has 4 of them, Amy.
No, but
hey, no, listen. And this is another thing. I turned on, I think, Collision the other night, and Daniel Garcia defended the TNT championship against what's the guy from Lee Moriarty?
Okay.
The Ring of Honor Pure Champion.
Okay.
Why are we beating one of our Ring of Honor champions on television?
Why are we not having Ring of Honor have their own separate show?
Oh,
I 100% agree.
I'm all for it, but
that's very true.
But I'm thinking you got a locker room full back there, and this is Collision. Can we put somebody else out there for a title shot other than one of your other champions?
Right. No one else is worthy, but someone else who already has a tag belt or championship belt. Yeah. I agree.
Speaking of champions,
is he here
at this time?
Oh,
I'd like to welcome our very special guest to the show. He is the current Juggalo Championship Wrestling American Champion. He's the current BIW Southern Champion. He's Caleb Konley.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Caleb. How are you, sir?
Hey, am I on time? Did I mess up?
No, you're on time.
You're fine.
Okay. I saw that you guys were going already, and I was like, I swore he told me 8 p.m., and I just, okay.
Yeah, right. I'm front-loading our silliness.
Okay.
How you been, man?
I'm doing good, man. We just had a big trip out west. We were in Vegas on Thursday, Tucson on Friday, and Albuquerque on Friday or Saturday. And so I just got back home yesterday from my mom's house in Atlanta, and now I'm just kind of taking it easy. Weekend took it out of me.
I imagine you've been a road warrior here lately.
I'm trying, man. Just don't stop. I guess you don't grow old if you never stop. I think that's what they tell me.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying. Don't tell me otherwise, damn it.
Yeah, you're a lot more active than I was when I was your age, though.
Never slow down. I don't know. I don't even know how to.
I played indoor soccer, but I played goalie, so I didn't have to do a lot of running.
There you go.
So
Probably,
I mean, I was a
probably
lazy athlete. So Caleb, tell me, I want to know about your affiliation with Juggalo Championship Wrestling right off the top.
Oh man. So I've been a juggalo. I was a juggalo in, 97 when they started popping up on ECW. Like ECW when I was 11, 12 years old was like the coolest thing to ever happen. And then like I heard about ICP getting their album banned from stores and that about that same time. And then all of a sudden they showed up at ECW and I was like, well, this is the coolest crap ever. Like they're getting banned out of stores, and then ECW is like this underground movement that you're not supposed, like, it's almost like it's very hush hush. It seemed like super real. So just like them two coming together like that, and then them being in WWE for a minute. And then I was just like, at the same time, there were Juggalo wrestlers and I was going to independent shows as like a 13, 14-year-old. So I got into it super early. And then when I moved to Charlotte in 2007, I still kind of had all of my ICP Juggalo merchandise. And it kind of like, at that time period when I was trying to break into the business and, get a little something going, it was kind of looked down upon to be a Juggalo wrestler. So I kind of like straightened up my image. I didn't, I wasn't not a Juggalo, but I wasn't like outwardly portraying it, or, I didn't make that part of my gimmick or anything. So like time went on and it just rolling, but I had all this merchandise from like when I was in high school, t-shirts, DVDs, action figures, posters, everything in the world. And then it was at my boss's house because that's the first place I ever lived when I moved to North Carolina for High Spots. And just last year around this time, he sold that house. So in doing so, I had to finally go get all that merchandise out of his attic. And so now I'm sitting here with boxes and boxes of all these old t-shirts that I haven't seen in 20 years. I'm like looking through it. It's kind of nostalgic. It's kind of bringing back memories. But I was like, man, I don't have any room in my house for any of this stuff, and I'm probably not gonna wear it at all. So then I just started listing it on like Facebook Marketplace, and then all of a sudden, Carrie Morton messages me and goes, "Hey, so I'm working with JCW now, and I see you got all this stuff. Hey, could you like give me one of those shirts you're selling?" I was like, "Sure, man, why not? Here, pick out whatever one you want. I'll get it to you." And then he was like, "Actually, JCW is about to start running like full time here soon." And then like the next month they had me on a show in Ohio. Like ever since then, I've just kind of been going full steam ahead with them.
I know that they changed their name.
Yes.
So, and I guess trying to get it, I understand why their name, for those that don't know, the Insane Clown Posse is who we're talking about. They've called it Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
And now it's Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going mainstream.
Well, it's been championship wrestling for probably 10 years or so, I think. But it just kind of like early on when it was championship wrestling, it was bad wrestling. It was all comedy stuff. It was all just really dumb gimmicks. And they were doing it before ICP shows. And it was kind of just like more or less a bar show, like kind of one of those like Hood Slam out west. They do it. There's like a lot of like, like Kaiju Big Battle, like niche wrestling things. And that's kind of what they were doing. But it wasn't very often. And then, with them being touring musical artists, like a lot of their time they're like in the studio recording and on tour, so they weren't really able to take it super seriously. But in the past couple of years, Jay's kind of like slowed down on touring. He's a little older. He doesn't like being out on the road as much. And, you know, he's always been a super huge wrestling fan. Like, you can ask him anything. Like, you could take him into your room and he would probably know, like, I know that belt, I know when this happened, yada yada. He's like super in tune with all kinds of old school wrestling stuff. So it's always been in his heart that he really wanted to do it again. So since they haven't been touring and they haven't been, you know, putting out as many albums here lately, he decided, I'm gonna go gung ho. I'm gonna get into wrestling again. He started showing up at NWA. He did some stuff at MLW. He's bouncing around on these indies, and he's just like, well, screw it. I've had this wrestling promotion for 20 years. I might as well just like make the best of it.
Mm-hmm. Is he trained? Do you know? Has he trained to be a wrestler?
Yeah, absolutely.
He has. Okay.
Both of them, Jay and Shaggy. Shaggy broke his neck and had a couple other little problems, so he's kind of like, I'm going to stay away from wrestling right now. Like he's all about it, but he doesn't want to do it. But Jay was Corporal Danny Daniel or something like that, something Daniels, because his brother was in the military back in like Desert Storm, and he like would send back fatigues and stuff. So he did like a military gimmick. There, I saw a poster the other day where he wrestled Scott D'Amore, like way back in like 1990.
Okay.
See, I've never felt like
Rob since the very beginning. Rob was at our show on Thursday in Vegas. Both him and Sabu came out. And they were just, you know, they both love Bound Jay, so they came on out hugging him and being awesome. It was really cool to see both of them.
See, I'll be honest. I wasn't an Insane Clown Posse fan because I knew they were the guys they were the clowns that didn't like Kiss.
yeah.
And I've been a card carrying member of the Kiss Army since I was a little kid. So
yeah, there's a little bit of clash.
So we had he showed up, but their involvement in professional wrestling kind of like these guys aren't bad.
Yeah.
And they weren't showing up as the normal in the celebrities making fun of wrestling spots. They were competing, like you said, ECW. They were on WCW. They were on WWF.
Most of their heat when they were in WWE and WCW was because they wanted to be taken more seriously as wrestlers. Like, look, we're trained. We've been doing this, you know. And they were like, oh yeah, but you're just like, you know, you're just like Jay Leno or you're just like Rodman or whoever. You don't really know what you're doing. Just get in there and do a couple things. And they're like, no, man, we can do this. We'll do moonsaults and shit.
And then I heard about that they do wrestling at the Gathering.
Oh, yeah.
And they booked Bob Backlund. Like when I think Juggalo, I don't think Mr. Backlund.
That is some of the funniest stuff. Like if you go back through the libraries of the shows at the Gathering, they had Terry Funk versus Dusty Rhodes. They've had Piper there. There's like Bobby Lashley videos. Like you name it. At some point, they've probably come through the Gathering. It's honestly, it's insane to look back at it.
I think the perception of the Gathering to people that are older like me, and the reality of them are two completely different things. Because when he described, I would have gone to that had I known.
Yeah. We had George South with us last year. I rode up with him. And, you know, George is a good old Christian boy. Everybody in North Carolina was like, oh, I don't know if George should go up there. He's not ready for it. And every time he would go, listen, I was in Jim Crockett Promotions when the Four Horsemen were running through rats and all the drugs and all of the stuff and busting up hotel rooms. There's nothing no juggalo's ever going to do that's going to be worse than what Ric Flair did in 1984. And I was like, you're absolutely right. You know, you've been around, you've seen everything.
Josh Newell says the Great Muda came over too.
Oh, yeah. Muda's been there. Muda has been over there a couple of times.
Incredible. You mentioned George South. Did George South train you?
Not originally. I trained in Atlanta originally. I was under Mr. Hughes for a minute, and then there's a guy named Rob Adonis who had a school with Glacier, and then another guy named Murder One in Georgia. And I kind of bounced around to all three, but I was only there for about a year and a half. And then when I moved to Charlotte for High Spots, he ran the High Spots school. So like ever since 2007, I was trained by George, you know, in the ring and also on the road. We were always on the road traveling together, and traveling with George is a different kind of traveling schedule. He's not getting in a hotel. If he's got a hotel, he's not going to sleep. He'll sleep in the car. Like he's super old school. Old bread, mayonnaise sandwiches on the road. He still does it like back in the 80s.
There's lots of stories of guys doing that. I was told that when Skandar Akbar went on road trips, that he'd go into the stores and he'd load up on condiments.
Yeah, yeah, that's what George does.
Oh my goodness. Well, before we get too far ahead, I want to go back because I don't know as much. I know as Pondwater does, but what brought you to wrestling? What were you watching? You were talking about watching ECW. You'd watch that, but who was your favorite growing up, and what made you really decide this is what I want to do?
So this story almost goes 360 with like as far as me doing ICP stuff. My dad worked for David Allan Coe, the country music star in the 80s.
Yes.
Noel David and Dusty Rhodes were good friends. They would have David Allan Coe would tour on the Great American Bash tours with NWA back in the day. So my dad was one of his roadies. So he was always at the Great American Bash. So my dad, even like 1985, was like trying to pitch ideas of like he wanted to be the roadie like long time before Road Dogg was going to be Jeff Jarrett's roadie. Like he wanted. David, you come out and you're the star, and then I'll be your roadie, and then I'll wrestle for you. And he was pitching that forever. But like he was making. I was about to be born at that point, and he had my mom and his wife. So it was like he couldn't really start at that point trying to become a wrestler when he was already he was doing all right being in the music business. But then eventually in like 1990, he started giving it a shot, and he became an independent wrestler. But it was always like in between times of him being on the road doing country music stuff. So he would come home off a tour, and then he would take like 2 months worth of bookings, and then he might not wrestle again for 6 months or something. So wrestling has always been in my life. So he got into it through his favorite musical artist when he was in his 20s, and then here I am 30 years later, and I got into it because of the artists that I liked when I was. I mean, I was always a wrestling fan. I grew up with the Sting and Ric Flair. I mean, Sting and Ric Flair, Flair and Ricky Steamboat, like those. That's what I grew up watching. I hated Ric Flair with a fucking passion. I hated him so bad. But then I realized, like when I got to be a teenager, I'm like, he's doing exactly what I want him to do. He's just the best at what he does. So I've like, as far as Ric Flair as the person, and Ric Flair as the person on TV, he's been the one that I've always come back to. I've gone through, the 96 luchadors with WCW. That was the big time for me, because it's like, oh, you don't have to be 6'2" and 245 pounds to make it. You can be a smaller guy. So that was always huge for me. And then obviously ECW, there was like, I remember like it was on a channel that all it did was run like PowerPoint ads for local TV, like other local restaurants and stuff. There was never anything on it. And I remember turning the channel to that channel one time, and this crazy underground Fight Club crap was on. And I was like, I can't show my mom this. She'll kill me. But because of that, I was hooked from like the moment I saw it.
I love it. Speaking of your mom, what did she think if her husband was doing it and now her son's doing it? Was she like, yay, or was she like, yay?
She hated it when my dad did it. She hated it, but she loves it when I'm doing it. I was just with the family on Sunday after I got back from our tour, and she was telling me, like, she's a server at this restaurant. She says she's got some normal people that come in all the time, and they're always asking about me, and they've seen me in TNA, seeing me on JCW. So she always lets me know that everyone's keeping up with me. That's really nice.
Oh, that's super cool.
I don't know if you noticed, but I got this nice little gash across the bridge of my nose.
Yeah, I did notice.
Yeah.
I noticed it, and I was trying to figure out if I was going to ask about it or not.
What happened? Well, we figured it was I hope it's wrestling related, right? Or is it like, oh, I tripped in my house? No.
No. The first night of the tour, I'm wrestling Too Tough Tony, and he does an Asai moonsault or something. He was coming for my head, and I like put my hands up, and then my wrist tape like scraped across it.
Oh God.
So it looks a lot worse. Like I was walking through the mall earlier today, and everyone was just looking at me. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I have this big weird line across my nose.
At least you've got a cool story. Normally I get them all over my head, but it's because I work for Frito-Lay. That's my day job. And I'll go in trying to get to the back of a rack, and I'll
Okay. Yeah.
that metal rack.
I've done that
I
once or
go
twice in my life.
hard way on a potato chip rack.
That could turn. It could be you've told some funny stories at least from your, Dollar Tree, Dollar General deliveries and stuff. So I mean, you could make it cool. I bet.
Yeah, I'm not above lying. So I've got some pictures that I want to show. And you can take us through it. Uh-oh, where'd y'all go?
Your heavyweight title. That was, man, I don't even remember. Probably 2010.
How old
Yep.
were you? You look young. Are you even 20?
No, I was definitely 20. I was probably like 23, 24.
Okay.
Yeah, you started in 2005, didn't you?
Yep, started in 2005.
Okay.
18.
So
That is the PWI Ultra J title. That was
Okay.
that was right after I got back from Japan, I think. I was like 2011, 2012.
was
Were
that
you on tour in Japan or were you over there for a year or so?
I spent about 6 weeks over there for New
6 weeks.
Japan, not New Japan, I'm sorry, 01.
Cool.
It was a very good experience. They taught me a lot. I got to be in the ring with Masato Tanaka like every day. It was crazy.
were you in the J Cup?
No, that is an American title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were just trying to kind of go along with the Japanese J style stuff.
Oh, I got you. And then
Oh, no.
I'm back. Sorry. I mean, that's the same tights. It's a little bit earlier though. That's probably 2009, 2010 also. I look good
CK1.
there. Look at those traps. That was for Evolve or Draggate USA. That was when I was in the Premier Athlete brand with that's Sue Young behind me, and Trent Beretta and Tony Nese were my other partners in the Premier Athlete brand. That was one of the coolest, funnest times I ever had.
What
That was
was
like the first time I was ever in like a group that they were actually like behind. They were trying to put stuff behind it.
What was the name of that championship you held with them? Because it was a mouthful.
The Open, the Unite, or the Twin Gate. I don't know. They've got crazy Open the something gate for all the Dragon Gate titles.
Right.
I think it might have been like Open the United Gate for the USA titles.
I remember they had a belt that had a lot of keys. You had to have keys to open things on it.
Yeah, that was one of the Japanese ones. That's a super cool belt. I don't know if you've ever seen it in person or anything. Man, I've never seen anything like it.
This is definitely a different look, and that's definitely a different look from what we just saw.
Yeah, that was Caleb with a K. That was 20, 21, 22 probably. That was great, man. I had so much fun working with Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rain, and yeah, there they are. And all of them and the Iconics. I got to work with all these girls that were awesome, and I got to be like, I spent so much of my early career trying to be like a serious technical wrestler, and then they were just like, no, just be a goofball. And I'm like,
Yeah.
perfect. I can do that. I can be a goofball for the rest of my life. Like that's not an issue. I don't know who that guy is.
This surprised me in the research because I did not know this before today.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Okay.
That is not me in that picture. That is probably I think that's Perkins there. But yeah, from 2017, basically going forward, I was Suicide.
I forgot one of my questions. You debuted as Black Pegasus?
Yes, I did.
I could not find any pictures of Black Pegasus. Were you wearing a mask or was it just
I was wearing a mask. I mean, I might have 2 pictures from being Black Pegasus myself. So, people just didn't take as many photographs back then. Black Pegasus was when I started. I was watching a whole lot of Benoit, who was Pegasus Kid, and Eddie Guerrero, who was the Black Tiger, and they were like, just combine it, be Black Pegasus.
Okay.
So then I did that for like the first 8 months of my career before I decided that I was good enough to take a mask off.
Did you enjoy working under a mask?
It's cool. Doing Suicide was different because it was just like, it was something that was already like established, but they kind of gave me free reign to make it my own however I wanted. And it was cool. It was also cool because I was doing Caleb Konley stuff there too. So it was like trying to like figure out like, okay, this is a Caleb Konley thing and this is a suicide thing. And like, how can we make sure that I don't wrestle as Caleb Konley when I'm suicide, or don't wrestle as suicide when I'm Caleb Konley? So it was just a cool like challenge for myself.
Well, I know that when you work under a mask, you got to be more animated because you can't see the facials, and you work pretty animated anyway.
Yeah, I honestly like being suicide probably helped me be more animated as is. Like that, like you're right. Like you don't have a mask, so you can't see facials, so you got to have big arm movements. You got to do stuff. So, hey, that's the new belt. That's the Southern belt.
You are the current BIW Southern Heavyweight Champion.
It's been a long time coming.
You won that in a triple threat match.
Yes.
Who were you against? Who were you against?
I was against Bam Bam Maloney and
okay.
Alex Arsenal.
Alex Arsenal. So look,
okay.
It was supposed to be being Bam Bam in a singles match.
Yes.
My flight leaves Atlanta normal time. It's whatever. I'm supposed to be in West Monroe at like 2 p.m. We get to West Monroe and they go, hey, there's a really bad storm. We're going to have to divert you guys to New Orleans. So then we just sit in New Orleans forever. And then they finally take off. And when I finally get to West Monroe, the guy picking me up is immediately on the phone with Josh. And Josh is like, get your gear on right now. They're about to head to the ring. And I'm like, what do you mean they are going to head to the ring? I'm like, we're going to turn it into a 3-way. You're just going to come there. And I was just like, dude, I feel so bad. Like these guys are going to go out there and they're going to bust their ass. They're going to have this really good match. And then I'm going to come out there, no wrist tape, no warm up, no nothing. And just go out there and win this title. And they're like, you got to do it. You got to do it. And I'm like, I really hated doing it. I felt like I just stole all these guys' shine. Like they just put in all this effort and I just came in like an asshole and just took it from them. Yeah, but we made it work. And
they feel pretty bad about it too.
Yeah. I know. I'm sure. Like I felt terrible about it.
That was fairly recent, wasn't it?
That was in December.
December. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've debuted this new gear.
Yeah, that's my new American Juggalo stuff.
Okay.
It's kind of a cross between Caleb with a K and a little more serious, but still obnoxious and kind of goofy.
Yeah, I noticed in your match the other night that you even had the Juggalo on your sleeve.
I try to rep it. It gets good reactions. It gets a reaction everywhere I go. Either they really like it because I have the Hatchet Man on, or they really hate me. So either way, I'm happy that they're just making some kind of a noise. There I am with that title. That title is so freaking heavy. It's insane. Like having to carry it through the airport is obnoxious every time. And because it's so heavy, like I'll take it through TSA, and every time they have to look at it, they go, I don't know, why is your bag so heavy?
Right.
They pick it up and they want to take pictures with it and ask me about it. I'm just like,
oh, that's great.
I just got to I just got to get to my gate.
Yeah. Anytime I take belts to like a WrestleCon or a WrestleCade or somewhere, I know that there's going to be somebody there that I'd like to have autograph one of the belts, because I really like getting legends to autograph. I mean, I've got so many legends on my NWA belt, but going through as soon as it goes off, they want to open the bag. And I'll be honest with you, the one time they didn't open the bag and look at it, I was kind of disappointed.
I'm gonna tell you what, I was not disappointed when they didn't open my bag. I was very, very happy.
Imagine
stuff. Are you guys going out to WrestleCon? Are you guys going out to Vegas for WrestleMania and everything?
Unfortunately, I won't be able to.
Ooh.
Because it's Easter weekend.
Oh, it is that. I forgot about that. Sunday, yeah.
I mean, I would love to go to Las Vegas. I will definitely be down in New Orleans next year.
Yeah.
For I'm gonna try to get booked on as many shows in the New Orleans area as I can.
JCW's got a show at midnight on the Saturday on Fremont Street, basically like where the Fremont Street Experience goes on. There's like a little open air mall kind of situation. We're doing a free show right there at midnight after the Saturday Mania.
Oh,
so that's gonna be super cool.
Ooh.
That would be cool. You've been to Fremont Street, haven't you, Amy?
Oh yeah, I used to wrestle for PPW for Jeff Manning for years and years in Vegas. So I was there like every month for like 3 years straight, and I just got Vegas was cool at first, but then like it kind of loses its novelty after a bit. I was just like, no, just take me to the hotel. I'm done. I don't need to see any more lights. I'm good.
I haven't been since they put the canopy over Fremont Street.
Oh, really? It's been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long.
Wow. Yeah, you got to go check it out, man.
But
The
I've
Fremont
been wanting to
Street
get out there.
experience is really cool.
I've been wanting to get out there for Cauliflower Alley.
That was the first time I ever went was for Cauliflower Alley.
I could go to Vegas, and I don't care about going out there to gamble anymore.
Yo, no.
I mean,
Every time I
there's
go
a
to
casino in town, and I don't go gamble.
Every time I go to Vegas, somebody that I'm with wins a bunch of money, and then I'll put in like 10, 15 bucks or something. I lose it immediately. I'm like, yep, good enough for me, man. I tried, I lost. It's okay.
But
Been there.
when I was going though, and I wanted to play blackjack, I'd go down to Fremont Street to the horseshoes there, Binion's Horseshoe. They had $1 million on display in a case, but they had a $5 prime rib.
Oh yes,
in single deck 21.
All right,
and that's what we do is eat $5 prime rib, and the $5 prime rib was good.
Yeah.
So, and most of the time, that's all I could afford.
Yeah, you're probably not getting the prime rib anymore. It's gone up a little bit. They've classed up the joint a little bit.
Speaking of WrestleCon, Willie Buck in our chat, he says you have a very nice T-shirt on. Did you get it there?
I do. I do. WrestleCon in Dallas.
Awesome. Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I would say I have that. We help out.
Somewhere.
What was that?
I think I have that shirt somewhere.
I bet you. That's probably one of the years you went, right?
Yeah, I've been to Dallas both times. I'm from that area.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew you were big on primary stuff.
Like when AEW does All In out there.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty sweet.
My daughter lives close to the airport, so I won't even have to get a room. I can just stay there and
perfect
25 minute drive to what's going on out there. Well, take my grandsons. My grandsons have never been to they've been to independent shows, but they've never been to an event like that.
That was one of the coolest things that I got to do from being in high spots and doing WrestleCon stuff. Like one of our things was we would always get to go to WrestleMania. Not so much now that it's 2 days and it's $1 million deal. Like you can't do it. But back in the day, I remember my family lives in Atlanta, and my youngest brother, I don't know, he was probably like 12 or 13 at the time or something, and he had never been to he'd been to like a Monday Night Raw or something, but that was it. And I got to take him to WrestleMania, and I was like, that's a really cool thing I got to do.
He'll never forget it.
He probably already has. I won't forget it though. I felt like brother of the year for getting to do it.
My little brother's 8 years younger than me, and my mother actually let me take him to New Orleans to the Crockett Cup.
Oh wow!
when I was 20 and he was 12.
There you go.
Let me take a 12-year-old to New Orleans.
And you didn't even try to sell him off or nothing.
No, I left him in the hotel and went to Bourbon Street with my buddies. And he rode the elevator. He was riding the elevator, seeing the wrestlers all night.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. She just thought that was just a weekend by herself. So that's why she sent y'all. She sent Ike with you.
but
poor
I've got
Ike.
to see some really cool wrestling events with my little brother.
That's awesome, man.
You mentioned high spots and working for them. Is it hard to work for high spots when some of that really, really cool stuff comes through?
No, man, I'm desensitized to it at this point. Like every once in a while, somebody will bring, like they'll send something in to get signed, and I'll be like, oh man, that's pretty freaking cool. But like when I first moved there, yeah, every day was just like Christmas, just seeing new stuff all the time. But now it's just like, like it's a job, at some point everything's desensitized, and it's just like, all right, let's clock in, let's clock out, let's get it done, get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my wife would probably appreciate it if I would work for high spots, so stuff would stop looking so cool to me.
Yeah.
Now,
you would make no money because you would be spending it all.
Caleb's been to my house. He's been to my house recently, so he saw the man cave, and he knows that it's past the point of saturation. Oh, I mean, there's no room.
But it's put together so well. It's like you should have a YouTube show or something going on, like showing off all that stuff. It looks so awesome in there.
I'll do TikTok videos occasionally, and they're the only ones that ever get any kind of views.
I bet.
But
You'll mess around and go viral off one of those things, man.
but something will come out like I love the Great Muda, and there's so much Muda stuff coming out right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just have to ask myself, where am I going to put it? Why am I going to get it? And then Cardona's coming out with Bruiser Brody and Kerry Von Erich, and I'm like, well, I got to get them. And then I'm like, do I need to get them? And so it's to the point where I got to ask myself constantly. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm trying to start collecting more stuff with people that I work with.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's because I don't know how much longer I'm going to get to do this.
Yeah, definitely. I was just having a conversation yesterday with my mom because, like, when I was a young kid, I had all of the first series of Galoob, and I had all the old, like, the original series of, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I was like 6 at the time. My brother was probably 2, and my mom was always just like, "You got to open those up so you and your brother can play with them." I was like, "No, I'm keeping these in the box. They're gonna be worth money one day." And they're like, "No, they're not. You're gonna put those Ninja Turtles out of the box and you're gonna play with them. That's why I bought them. I didn't sit there to collect dust on a windowsill or anything." So I was just having the conversation. I was like, "You know how much money I lost by opening all those action figures you made me play with?"
Oh yeah, I'll see things that I actually had. I mean, I used to keep my wrestling programs.
Yeah.
And I'll see what those go for, or I'll see a promo picture, and all those originals just go for so much.
That's so wild.
Of course, my kids and my wife will be the one that'll sell them. I'll probably never sell anything. That's their experience.
Travel around and vacation and have yourself a good old time without all that burden of all that stuff weighing you down.
What's coming up for you now?
Let's see. What do I got? I got FWE in Raleigh, North Carolina on Saturday, and then Mucha Lucha Atlanta on Sunday. That's the 15th and 16th. And then what do I got? 23rd, I'm back in Atlanta for Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. Then the 27th, I'm in Richmond, Virginia for GalaxyCon. They're doing a Wrestle a Go-Go show, which is half wrestling, half cabaret, which I've never done before, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
The 28th, JCW is doing a show with ALW in Cocoa Beach, Florida. So I'll be there on the 28th. And then the 30th, I'll be in Illinois for GCW. Another half GCW, JCW show.
Where in Illinois?
It's whatever is right over the river from St. Louis. It's like Sagot or something like that. I can't remember the name of it now.
Okay.
I wish I was better at this.
No, I don't live. I live in Kentucky. I don't live very far from St. Louis, but the Juggalos have a spot in Illinois. It's across the river. I can't remember what it was. That they would have I don't know what they call it. Their gathering, their yearly gathering.
Okay. Yeah, they did it in Illinois for a few years. Now it's back in Ohio.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. I was just trying to see how far it might be if it was going to be at that spot.
It's at a bar called Pops. JCW has done shows in St. Louis, but St. Louis has like a weird commission. So a lot of companies go right on the other side of the border to get away from all of the Missouri commission stuff.
Sure, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Do we have you on BIW this month on the 29th?
Not this month. I don't think I'm back for a couple months.
Okay. What'd you think about Brookhaven? Was that your first time in Brookhaven?
I was at Brookhaven probably 2 years ago. I wrestled Ray Fury there the first time. It's a good show. Like, I think this time was better than the first time I went. Man, every time I've worked for Josh, it's been a good experience. So I have nothing bad to say about any of the towns he's put me in. So BIW has got.
I knew you did West Monroe a lot. I couldn't remember if you'd been to Brookhaven. Brookhaven was off the chain this
Yeah.
this last time. I mean, they
Yeah.
showed up and they were loud.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. And I really like wrestling with Danny Chance, so I'm glad I got to do that again.
It was good to see Danny back. I thought it was a really good match, and I enjoy refereeing your matches, but I'll have to work extra hard to work and not watch,
Yes.
because this is part
Yeah.
where I'm gonna kiss your tail a little bit.
Okay. I needed it from time to
You
time.
remind me so much of Steve Anthony in the ring. Your
I hear
intensity,
Steve Anthony a lot. I hear Cassidy a lot too.
your intensity. When I'm in there, I'm trying really hard, and I got it. I told Amy this before. I refereed a match for I think it was you and Fury,
Okay.
and I got caught in the corner, and I didn't just jump out of the way. I did a lucha roll and popped back up. And after I did it, and he even called it, he said, "What the hell? The referee's calling? Who called the lucha spot for the referee?" And I mean, I was mortified when I did it, because I really don't want to try to do anything that takes away from what's going on in the match. So when I did it, I mean, I said, "Oh shit," about the same time you did, and I was like, "Oh my God." And I mean, I wanted to crawl under something. I was so embarrassed that I did that, but I just got caught up in the corner and need to get out of the way.
You did what had to be done, man. I was with a referee just this week that I wish he would have done what you did, but he just stood there and let me barrel both of us into a buckle that he was already in when he knew he should have got out of the way. So, I mean, that was just you on your tiptoes doing what you're supposed to do.
When I'm in there, I really enjoy your work. If Josh told me I'm not refereeing the main, that would be a chance for me to stand at the curtain.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, man.
And the night that I got to referee for him and Steve Anthony, my head almost exploded. So,
we blow you up a little bit. Steve is something else in the ring, man. Like, he's so good. He teaches me something new every time I'm in the ring with him. I've been wrestling him. We wrestled shit like eight or 9 years ago the first time, and like I knew who he was. I had heard he'd been in Japan, done New Japan stuff, but it was like I'd never actually seen his stuff. I just knew that he was good. And then I got in the ring with him, and man, it's like butter. He's just so smooth with everything he does. It's incredible. It's like it's a shame that he's not, making six figures somewhere.
I agree. Not very many guys that you can work with that can say that they got to beat Liger in the Tokyo Dome.
Right.
That's not bad to have on your resume.
No. What you told us what you're doing in the next couple of weeks, but what does 2025 look like for you? You got any plans going down the road, or what's going to happen for you?
I'm having a lot of fun doing this JCW stuff, so I'm going to ride that as much as possible. We're doing tours like every month. We've got another one in April that's like in Cleveland, Columbus, and a couple Illinois stops, and we're just keep on rolling with JCW stuff. So that's been my main focus. Like I would love maybe another opportunity at TNA, since they've got this whole situation with WWE going on. But I'm just hustling. I'm never stopping. I'm trying to make as many towns as I can, trying to sell as many T-shirts as I can, trying to have the best matches that I can. So it never changes.
Awesome.
Speaking of your T-shirt,
that's MJF.
Oh, come on, Dave. Well, I was going to be so smooth.
Thank you for coming back, Caleb. I don't know if I would have after he booted you like that and showed MJF. I would have been like, forget you, Dave.
Damn.
Got heat now, man.
I know.
I'm fixing to make up for it, though.
He always has heat, though.
StreamYard added a whole bunch of little gadgets over here that are supposed to make changing windows real easy.
Yeah.
And
for you.
Yeah, I missed the assignment. But I've had your T-shirt. I have your T-shirt and the website where you can get it.
Oh shit! Look at that. Alt Wrestling Tees, man.
Oh, it's on Pro Wrestling Tees.
It's on Pro Wrestling Tees. It's on Alt Wrestling Tees. That's the guy who designed it. The guy in Alt Wrestling. His company's Alt Wrestling Tees. He also does a lot of the JCW stuff nowadays. So got a good little working relationship with him. I really like him.
Awesome.
And I would imagine you have more than one shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, don't you?
Oh, I've got tons. I've got Premier Athlete brand ones from 15 years ago. I got all my Caleb Konley, Charlotte Hornets stuff, the Revolt stuff with me and my tag partner Zane Riley. I've got a ton of stuff on Pro Wrestling Tees. So / Caleb Konley. Everyone go buy 3. Send them to your brother and your uncle.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm on all of the socials, all of them at Caleb Konley. Caleb with a C, Konley with a K. That's, I'm off TikTok now. I didn't really appreciate it in the first place, but then when they tried to ban it, I was like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I'm going to delete it. I'm too old for this crap. No more new social medias, but I still got the Facebook and the X and the Instagram. So you can catch me there.
No, it's funny you mentioned that. We were at the top of the show talking about TikTok. It hadn't been the same since the ban.
Yeah.
I don't have it either because, like I said, I never was on it. And then when they banned it, I was like, well, okay, that's fine.
I protested getting on it for the longest time. And then a couple of friends were like, you really got to do it. Like, it's where everything's headed. Facebook's going to be obsolete. Twitter's going to be obsolete. Everything's going to be on TikTok. So you got to get one. And I tried it out. I would post something like once a month. And I'd be like, well, whatever. This is kind of bullcrap.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter does very well. She does lives. She does a reality-based podcast, and she goes live on there, and she gets a nice little check from them every month.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, she got my attention, and I started looking at it, and then it got banned, and I'm like, well, I'm going to wait. I don't want to put a whole bunch of work into it, and then they take it away from me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at TNA, Instagram was paying for the reels and stuff, and they would pay me a little bit every month. And I was like, all right, I guess I can do a little effort. But at the same time, man, like, honestly, if it was me, if I wasn't a wrestler, I just wouldn't have any social media. I don't care about people that I don't know's lives that much. So if it wasn't because I have to network and I have to be in people's faces all the time, I would just say, call me on my actual at-home rotary phone or something.
I like to keep up. I like to keep up with my old friends on Facebook.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's to the point now where I can get on Facebook and the first 10 things I see are suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see. I have to go look for certain people to see what's going on in their lives.
Oh yeah.
My wife doesn't even pop up. First and foremost, I have to go and look and see what she's posting. And if it wasn't for refereeing and trying to get this podcast, going, because we go on all the socials.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, man. I just personally, I don't enjoy it.
I just want MySpace back.
Yeah, right. MySpace was the best.
Give me some widgets. Let me put a song on there. I want some cool wallpaper. I'm gonna play Mobsters every day.
Life was so much more simple when we had MySpace,
wasn't it? Tom, where are you? Come back. So, well, Caleb, I appreciate your time tonight. I know that you're real busy. It means the world to me that you'd come on and spend a few minutes with us.
I'll do anything I can for you, Dave. Anytime you want me to come back, just let me know and I'll be there.
I appreciate it. I'd love to have you back. But thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna let you get back to what you were doing.
All right. I appreciate it, guys. See you soon.
Yes. Thank you.
Caleb Konley, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. What a nice guy.
He is. I was worried when it's funny, as a wrestler, he came to the house. He overnighted because he drove down from North Carolina for the BIW show, but he delivered a ring mat from High Spots. So,
okay.
Because shipping something that big was astronomical.
Sure.
Those mats are very, very heavy. Anyway, so he drove it down but he was going to have to drive back, and are you going to get a hotel or are you going to drive back? And I said, hey, come overnight at my place. So I'm 45 minutes from here.
Right.
And so I mean, we didn't get home till after midnight, and he was up and gone early.
Stephanie didn't Stephanie wasn't able to make breakfast, and
No. He was on the road, but
he was gone. I'm
but
sure
when he
that's
got
a
here, he
long
saw the
drive.
man cave, and I was thinking, I mean, you've been here, Amy,
Yep.
and I'm thinking, I hope he thinks this is cool, or I don't think that he puts the lotion in,
Yeah,
in the
really.
basket.
It's a pretty cool room. Yeah, it's a pretty
It's
cool.
2 rooms though, and he asked us to stay in the room that had more of my personal stuff in there.
Yeah, that's
So
funny. How long's it
AOL
been?
groups, 2
Oh,
weeks, right?
the AOL. That was kind of fun back in the day. I don't know. Just when it was starting to pick up. What was this game we used to play? You Don't Know Jack? It was like a computer game,
Yeah, I
though.
played
You
it on the
remember that?
computer.
I mean,
I didn't
didn't
like
we?
You Don't Know Jack on the Xbox. I liked it on the computer.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know it was on the Xbox, but it was just funny because it's just like I remember playing that, but you had to
Efren, we have to play You Don't Know Jack.
ooh, that could be a good one.
Efren has to get right on that.
That would be fun.
See, Amy, if you'd have been early today, I was gonna do these. They got a hole over on the side over here where you can get, like, if I click on this, it had our main view. Then I clicked on the other one and I already had his t-shirt up.
Oh,
And I guess
tried.
and I forgot that I had this because I was gonna, when we talked about it, I was gonna go through them. And
That's funny.
we just started talking about it. We're having a good time tonight.
We are having a good time. It's been a good time. We talked wrestling. We talked with Caleb Konley. That was fun. Do you have a little time to do trivia?
We are. I didn't want to keep him too long. I know he's busy and he's been traveling. I wasn't gonna.
And maybe it looks like he was going to get a workout in.
Yeah.
Where he was. It seems like, which that again, I guess that's what you got to do it, right?
Yeah. He is. He's in great shape. He puts on. I mean, go out of your way to find Caleb Konley and
definitely.
watch his stuff. You can search. You can search him on YouTube. I bet you can find the match with him and Steve Anthony on there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
It's time for Amy's trivia. Can you hang? How big's your brain? It's time to play.
If you take that wrestler that's holding up the belt of Amy's trivia and put a bunch of tattoos on him,
he looks like Brody King.
He's going to be Brody King. So, as you know,
now don't know what hit him tonight.
Do what?
I said Amy's old man ain't gonna know what hit him tonight.
Yeah, he's at a meeting too. He's gonna be like, "What in the world?"
Sean's like, "What's all this about? What's causing all this?"
So, as you know, now that Elimination Chamber's over, now that Elimination Chamber is over, we are strictly on the road to WrestleMania. So we're going to start doing some WrestleMania trivia. How about that? And you can't have WrestleMania if you don't have the first one. Right? So, I like these graphics. Oh, thank you so much.
Can we just kind of put my old lady over clean in the middle right now?
Fabulous. That's awesome.
Look what Stephanie did. I am so impressed.
She did great.
Good Lord.
So the first match ever at WrestleMania featured Tito Santana facing off against the Executioner. Tito won the match in under 5 minutes using what submission move? Was it figure 4 leg lock, sharpshooter, chicken wing cross face, or the Indian Deathlock?
D, Indian Deathlock. Terry Weaver says it too. Darren Staley went C with the chicken wing crossface. It's actually the cross-faced chicken wing.
Well, I think that's just. Well, I got to have one screw up, right? It's
Hey, and
always
I'm here to
something.
point them out.
I know I very much appreciate your honesty with me.
You're very welcome.
And I'm going to be honest with you and say everybody's wrong because it was A, the figure 4 leg lock.
No kidding.
Yep.
Hey, one of you geniuses over in the chat, Google and see if the executioner was Terry Gordy at WrestleMania 1.
It was not. It was Buddy Rose. Just so you know.
Okay. Thank you. Never mind.
See? Ta-da! Can you go to the next one? I mean, or have the answer come up, or what happened? Yeah, it was
I'm
figure
sorry.
4.
It looks good. I didn't want to change the channel. I didn't want to change
No,
the
I
story.
agree. I agree. I didn't know how it was going to work. So I love it. Next question. Who accompanied King Kong Bundy to the ring for his match against Special Delivery Jones at WrestleMania 1? This is a fill in the blank. That's right, Darren. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I miss a page or two, but darn it, I try. Who accompanied King Kong Bundy to the ring for his match against Special Delivery Jones?
Darren says Heenan. I want to.
It was not Heenan. I will say that.
It was too early for Slick. Was it the? Did Captain Lou Albano bring him to the ring? No. Captain Lou was in the rock and wrestling stuff as a face. Was it the Grand Wizard?
No, it was not.
Was it Fuji?
Nope. I heard her.
What'd she say?
You could give the answer. It was Jimmy Hart.
Oh. Oh, man. I should have got that. He was in the First Family in Memphis.
Yeah, you should have. No. But that's why it's trivia. You're learning something, right?
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Excuse me.
Chuck got it. And Chuck, if you'll notice, Chuck has Cassandra Golden in his profile picture. I want to say happy birthday to Cassandra Golden today.
Yes, I saw that. Happy
Former
birthday.
guest on the show, BIW Women's Champion. She's got a big match coming up with Killer Kate.
Ooh. When is that?
I want to say it's going to be the 29th of this month.
Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. Next question, sir. How many seconds did it take King Kong Bundy to defeat Special Delivery Jones? Was it 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds, or 16 seconds? Obviously, not a very long match.
I'm going to go with Darren. Terry said 9. Darren said A, which is 10. I'm going to split the difference and go B, 8 seconds.
All right. Well, one of you all is correct. And that would be Terry at 9 seconds.
Big brain Terry.
That's right. Next question.
Are you going with me to the hospital or are you staying here?
Well, what's that?
Carly,
We're having a baby?
possibly. Her blood pressure's high and that's not good. We gotta get her.
Oh, well, let me log off. We're having.
All right. That's right. Tell her, but we'll finish this later.
We're going to thank everybody for joining us tonight.
We're having a baby. We got to go, right? Is that what you said?
Her blood pressure's real high. We may have the baby tonight. So
is she due? When is she due?
The 25th is as long as they let her go.
Okay. So it's this month. So we're not we're not early.
No, we're not way early,
okay.
but the Hezzy came early under these circumstances. So
yes. You all go, and thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Next week we got AEW belt maker Ron Edwardson with us.
Yes.
Looking forward to having him.
Yes, that's gonna be so fun.
And be sure to check out the Ram Network. Our merch is at jumpinthepond.com. check out our friends Drunken Pop. Check out our friends TNA Top 10.
They're so fun.
They're on hiatus this week because they're all at spring training.
I know they're all getting to go on trips and stuff like that. So,
But their
All
Bob's
right.
Burger episode was really entertaining. They do a great job over there.
I can't believe Scroto Rooter didn't be number one. That's what I voted for number one. I thought that was the best. And
But,
Magnum GI, I thought those were pretty good. Make sure you send us pictures.
All right, and thank y'all for joining us tonight. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, our guest Caleb Konley. Thank you for everybody that's hanging out in the chat. Thank you for everybody that's watching. And for Amy Vaughn, I'm Pondwater Dave, and we will see you next week on
Bye-bye.
Talking Rasslin with Pondwater and Amy.